welcome on into Game 2 of the Grand Finals of the Internationals. We've got a little bit of time before we kick off fully here, but there is a bit special here. We've got a bit of Vermont gaming going on, SeaRaptor. You looking forward to some Vermont gaming?
Yeah, this will be interesting. Both teams bringing a Vermont, which will also be curious to see. But, I mean, we've seen that be impactful on this map. Well, maybe you missed that one. That was an NA game last weekend.
Well, Shaft, the green team, Northern Spawn here on North, are going to be running Vermont, Kremlin, Des Moines, Salem, Petropavlos, Gearing, Kleber, Ragnar. Double Ragnars.
I don't know if you've noticed, but the Penta lineup to the South Spawn is very nearly identical. Only a one-ship difference here. Vermont, Kremlin, Des Moines, Salem, Petropavlos, Gearing. Daring is the difference. Penta bringing a Daring, Shaft bringing a Kleber, but both teams opting for double Ragnar.
Do you think they might have scrimmed each other at some point?
You think? I mean, maybe they've played each other a little bit. Now, we saw Penta just earlier in the stream play this exact same map against W&D, but their lineup was different than this.
But I was just told by Maltese Knight and Gaishu that Penta are going to run the same strat.
I mean, they could, but I mean, it wouldn't be the first time that people have surprised us.
Imagine rotating strats in and out. Imagine if you could just like change your strat on the fly. That's a whole cheating. That's cheating, right? You're not allowed to change strategies.
Not remotely.
All right. So initial deployments. Green team, Shaft, sorry. Shaft are going to be sending over the A-cap. Kleber, Ragnar, Gearing, Des Moines. Vermont going to be following them very slowly. It's not the fastest ship in the world. Petropavlos going to be parked above B, near where you can radar C and B. Ragnar heading over the C-cap with Kremlin behind it and a Salem heading towards the 9-10 line. What have you got for the Reds?
It's a bit of a similar thing. Vermont, Des Moines, Gearing, and Ragnar headed over towards A. The Daring, that's River, kind of looking like maybe he wants to contest B, but he's opposed by a Petro, so we'll see how that works out. He might be able to get up there, take a little bit of chunk damage, wait out the Petro radar, and then eventually get into the cap. He's backed up by Marcelo's Ragnar here just south of B and Blood Legends Petro. Headed farther east than that is NAL's Salem and Snackman's Kremlin, kind of way back here along the H line, looking over, keeping guard over the 8, 9, 10 lines.
Yeah, no shots out so far. It's waiting. Radar comes out. Both Ragnars will be spotting each other. I don't think you really need a radar or another Ragnar, but here we are. See who takes more damage in this. We see the Kleber's going to be opening up as well. Gearing is not going to be opening up a vial, but he will be in a position to drop a smoke screen for Kinnymod in his Des Moines if he wants to get involved in this.
You see Zill there taking a little bit of damage. The goal there was just to try to get some resets, and they do, but they're not able to stop the cap completely. Some Vermont AP falling in on helicopter, but he weathers that storm decently. Loses about 8,000 or 9,000 HP. He'll be able to heal back a decent chunk of that.
Yeah, Ragnar sitting in the Gearing smoke screen. Des Moines and Kinnymod are going to be moving in to take this. Meanwhile, the return Gearing Des Moines smoke screen for Shaft above the cap. This is going to be violent. If one of them gets forced out, there's going to be an entire firing squad. There's going to be 16 guns that the Vermont brings? 16 guns of suffering?
It's 12 guns, but it's 12 18-inch guns. So, yes, it is a tremendous amount of suffering if you're a cruiser player.
Well, those 12 18-inch guns are going to be heading towards It's Russian and the Petropavlovsk, but north of the B-cap. There was an incident a couple of cots back where we saw instantly a Petropavlovsk managed to get dev struck through the nose, and I will never, ever not look at a salvo on a Petro's nose. And it's like, how do you do this?
I would love to know. If you learn that trick, promise to teach me, because I've never been able to pull that one off.
I think you need to use a Thunderer. It was a whole thing.
All right. Well, if you have a look at C, a little bit of back and forth over there. Again, dueling Ragnars across the cap here. That's Int'l and Marcelo. Int'l perhaps coming off a bit worse on that. Looked like, I think Blood Legend backed up enough. Yep, Blood Legend backed up far enough to chip in his salvo there as well. And so Marcello has about a 10,000 HP advantage as he's push off the opposing Ragnar.
Yeah, we should have some Salem on Salem and Kremlin on Kremlin action. Actually, the Kremlin for Penta is taking more of a kiting stance. This might be a serious disadvantage if the Salem on Salem gameplay happens over here on the 10 line. Depends on whether NLL wants to turn up here or turn out. I assume he's going to turn up, right? That'd be the most sensible.
I think maybe he's waiting. Maybe waiting to find out.
Well, Marcelo, taking the better of the Ragnar trade, might decide he wants to go and try and take an attempt to take the C-cap.
I mean, they could still rely on It's Russian's radar to pick him up if they wanted to.
It's Russian has other things to worry about, like this chain of daring torpedoes heading towards his bow right now.
The conga line torps now finally starting to arrive, and boy, those look really good.
Ooh,
1, 2, 3, 4 out of the first wave. He's trying to back up and get some cover behind this island, but he's going to take at least 2 more right in the bow.
5, 6.
He's going to be left on barely 10,000 HP. There's somebody's salvo coming in. They know how badly he just got hurt. Those are Ragnar shells and Vermont shells, I think, maybe?
Yeah, Vermont already shot those landings
His
just before.
DCP is down. He's on fire and trying to heal through it. They're trying to pick him off. I think they might get him.
Yeah, he should be going down here. I don't see a way that he heals through this. It's not going to be enough. There's no DCP available. He's just dead. Yeah, that's how you dislodge a Petropavlovsk. 10 daring
That
torpedoes.
would be the way. If you take enough conga line torps, eat them all for breakfast, then yeah, you go right out.
And this is the difference in strategy. We see one team brought a daring, one team brought a clever, and what does daring have over clever? Single fire torpedoes.
Now, Helicopters Ragnar has taken a bit of a punishment to make sure that they secured that kill, so he's going to be a bit rough for a bit. He's going to have to probably pull back and take a heal.
Yeah, there's also some gearing, smoking Des Moines action going on over here as well. So they're just going to go back into their smoke screens, yelling at each other. Two clouds yelling at each other for a while. Don't think the Vermonts are going to be too involved.
Angry Des Moines yells at Cloud?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Well, despite the ship loss, Shaft remains on top in terms of points, about 16 points and growing. They own the A cap, and so they're the only ones ticking up points here 6 minutes in. But you really, if you're Penta, you've got to really like the fact that you picked off that Petropavlovsk for free. And I'm a little surprised that SeaRaptor hasn't gone into the B cap yet.
Torpedoes on a Ragnar, potentially?
Which Ragnar?
He's fine. It's fine. It was very close.
Oh, I see him now.
Yeah.
I'm a little surprised they didn't take SeaRaptor into that cap, but I guess maybe they're just playing a little more cautiously. We talked about it earlier, right? The EU teams, my expectation would be, all right, we dislodged the Petro, let's get in there and grab this cap.
Yeah.
Their opinion is, nope, we dislodged the Petro, now let's wait and see how they react.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised that there's that everything is so hung back over on the 10 line here with this Salem Kremlin, like both of them just waiting at max range, nobody wanting to be the one that makes the first move here. They're finally going to be probably spotting each other relatively soon. There we go. We see both Salems are detected. That'll just be like who's going to AP the other guy's turrets out first. That's how that one's usually decided. It's all about what happens to the two Kremlins here. I think Snackman is going to be starting out this lower, so if it comes to that, yeah, we also have the Ragnar of Marcelo over here to start farming out. So Vert going to be at the disadvantage here on this one.
Viles gearing down onto the bottom of A. For Amazing's Des Moines, radaring him. They're going to force him off. In fact, that radar is going to pick up Helicopter as well. So Vile's going to suffer for a moment, but I'm sure they're going to swap fire as soon as they get eyes on Helicopter. Let's see what happens. Big Vermont salvo coming in. Again, nothing doing there.
Looks like the gearing was lit briefly in that, and he takes a little bit of a chunk, but no, it's all going to be focused back onto Vile, who he should be all right, right?
I think Vile will come away okay. He'll manage. He's going to lose a notable chunk of his health, but it looks like he's going to sneak away in about half HP.
Yeah, Damacon was a little bit early for my liking. There were still shells coming in there. That could have been really unfortunate if he got relit by a fire, but that's, it's minor imperfection. It's fine.
Zill is on to be there.
BC, clever.
Yep, as I'm watching. As Blood Legends radar goes up, picking up Zill, but nobody's really interested in contesting that cap. Stress Kleber coming down the channel, but now he's turning in to get into engage. SeaRaptor's daring it would look like.
Yeah, it looked like he was going for the rush there, and then he just got caught halfway down it, and it's like, all right, now what? And now he's going to be raining down this daring. Right, so Zill has the radar up currently. That's about to go down. That's going to leave Stress possible in a really awkward situation. I think he has enough HP to get the full rush off, but there's also, Ragnar of Marcelo stopping him, so yeah.
He probably does have the HP to get the full rush off. It looks like he's going to keep going for it.
I'm not sure if it's worth it at this point.
I mean, I'm not sure I agree with this, but that's what the play is. That's what they've decided they're going to do.
Stress possible in a very stressful situation here. Let's see how he gets the torps off. HE salvo comes out from the Petropavlovsk. Not going to be enough. Incapacitates the torps. We've had to pop the damage control already.
No, as soon as Blood Legend pulls the trigger, this is going to be over.
2 sets of torps off. Is he going to get the turn off?
No, he's not. He's going to get some torps in and going to get shot in the face for his trouble. Blood's going to get by on about 2,500 HP, and again, I look back and think, man, that feels like a bit of a forced error right now. It's a 2-ship lead for Shaft, and they didn't have to make that play.
And this is the thing. They managed to get their Petropavlovsk kill with their daring choice. Their clever rush didn't manage to pay off, so the daring choice coming on clutch here.
Yep, big time. Daring better than Kleber confirmed, apparently, Painzor.
No, indeed. It's all right. It's all right. We're going to ban daring next season just to make guys you happy. Back over on the 10 line, El Snackman in his Kremlin looks like he wants to go around on the Salem. He's pushed all the way up here. Kamikaze's going to be like, all right, what do I do here? If I don't go in that, if he comes out the front, he has to worry about any Lul's AP. If he doesn't go, he has the Kremlin up his butt. So
Yeah, they've got Kami sandwiched in here with that kind of hammer and anvil thing we saw Penta executing, or sorry, W&D executing on North earlier, I believe. But yeah, they're going to have to make something happen here as the Ragnar over by A. That's trying to pick it out here at distance. That's Helicopter. He does pick up the A cap, so now Penta picking up points as well. Shaft's still in about a 40-point lead.
They're also taking C cap though with Marcelo, so with both caps taken, they should definitely minimize this lead. And it looks like we're about to see Kremlin ramming here.
Yep, Vert's going to throw his ship away to protect his teammate here. So now you have to wonder how the Salem engagement is going to go.
Honestly, I think that's just going to be another pair of rams.
Probably. I saw Salvo come in from Blood Legend as Kami got pushed around the island and some AP come in, but it wasn't really impactful at that range. So now, man, I just look at this and I'm like, all right, you're Shaft. You're down 2 caps now because now they've lost control of C as well. Down caps, down ships. How do you make this happen? Picking up Blood Legend, the kill on Blood would be a big help. You see Int'l trying to make that happen.
Yeah, but Blood Legend's just going to be able to reverse back around this corner and go dark. And not only go dark, he gets to counter radar and get the salvo back at the Ragnar for completely free. And will also be picking up the position of Zill. Ram comes off between the 2 Salems.
Yeah.
So now Zill is brawling against the daring Ragnar in the middle of B cap all by himself. He should be. He was winning that fight. He's not going to be winning it anymore now that it's 2-on-1.
Yep, still taking a 2v1 here and probably not going to come out enjoying that experience. Penta rotating ships back
and
to back up Survivor's daring.
And Toro's trying to help, but he's just so far away that his salvos aren't really going to be landing.
The Vermont salvo coming in on Zill, but again, nothing doing. We keep seeing these Vermont shells come in on the destroyers and just wash the decks with water and very little else.
Yeah, basically, if you maybe he's just trying to extinguish the enemy's fires. He's
now Marcello getting in on this action on Zill, and there goes Zill.
Yeah, Zill going down. That puts the kills at 2-5. There is a large point lead currently for Penta. They are 120 points up, 2 caps up, taking the 3rd cap. And the HP advantage is also very firmly in Penta's favor as well. 191,000 to 117,000 currently.
Blood Legend bags the Ragnar who'd been picking on him. And so now it's a 4-ship lead.
Yeah, and all of the remaining ships are here just in this tiny little quadrant on the map. We have a Kiting Gearing who's being caught by Gearing Des Moines. We have a, Amazing in his Des Moines. And we have this Vermont who's now the focus of everybody's farming.
I gotta say, as I look back on this, this game's obviously going to be a Penta win at this stage.
You think?
Yeah. As I look back, I look at the 9-10 line play by both teams, and I'm honestly baffled, right? Because both teams sent the same ship configuration over there, more or less expecting the same thing, knowing how that was going to play out. And in the end, it generated nothing more than a pair of rams.
Yeah, a pair of rams. But the thing is, if you let them push down there, they recognize that we're both going to have the same thing. It's like, all right, this is just a stalemate. But you have to put something over there, otherwise you get collapsed on. And it's the easiest thing to put down there is Salem, who can have strong DPM and a heal to hold that. You're not really interested in using its radar. And Kremlin just for meat. If they don't put something there, you can then use that Salem Des Moines combination to push up further forward and maybe get some cross shots or whatever is at the bottom of B. But you need something over there.
Well, you can see they've called the wipe here. Formazing just blind fire, just firing into the ocean in front of him, waiting to die. Gasando basically doing the same thing, so... Penta going to go up 2-0 here. Hit the mouse. Sorry about that.
Maybe the Vermont is going to... Nope, never mind.
No, it's not going to be a thing. I'll be surprised if he even fires his guns again, because if he gets a kill, it just extends the timer, right?
So this is now a 2-0 lead for Penta in this series. Shaft really have their work cut out for them here if they want to go for the reverse sweep.
Big time. Big time. Well, I'm not sure what else we can really contribute to this conversation. Why don't we let the guys in the studio have fun with it for a bit, because they all looked very agitated at various points in that game.